Alright everybody, Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. How'd you like that porcupine? Pretty cool, huh? Like I say, I heard that up there doing the mating call. I got a good shot of him with my regular camera that had a good zoom on it, and you know, he's had a tough time. He's got a spot on his rear end about that big around, bare. Something's bit onto him good. I'm sure they got a mouthful of fun, but that's probably what saved him. Either way, we're up here to the Sasquatch Candy Store. Right there. Remember last year we found this V in the tree right here, and we found this rock that fit right in that perfectly. I've given it a lot of thought, and that rock didn't grow up out of there. Somebody or something with hands put that rock in that tree, and it very likely could have been a hunter. And I haven't seen any other action with that tree. There's a couple of good-sized sticks that are leaning right against trees up here, but that don't mean nothing, right? I mean, they fall out and land everywhere. They land up against a tree. I see them everywhere. That don't mean nothing. But you pay attention to all that, and maybe someday it'll mean something. It's starting to get dark, so we're gonna take that can of peanut butter and we're gonna put it down inside there, and I'm hoping that something comes along and pulls that rock up, takes that jar of peanut butter out, opens it up, either takes it with it or eat some, maybe leave that there. I'm also gonna leave something. I don't have anything right now. I thought about this week. I want to get like some sort of a, I don't know, whether it be marbles, something, some sort of something to leave to see if I can get any reaction where Sasquatch will actually take it, maybe leave me something. Now, I know I've been talking about that Expedition 2020 video, and I really got to buckle down and do that. I really dropped the ball. We got so busy with work, there's just absolutely no time at all to sit down and play around with that. And I think getting up here into the woods accomplishes two things. Number one, boots on the ground. I'm out here, I'm collecting data. Benefit number two, I'm out here collecting data. I'm not on that cell phone getting drove nuts at work. Alright, so either way, let's get this done, alright? First things first. Clean up the hands. I haven't heard anything tonight. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I've been loud. I've been loud tonight. I'm talking loud. I'm fired right up. Haven't heard any owls. It's the first time I've been up here where I haven't heard any coyotes yiping yet. I haven't heard any owls yet. I haven't heard nothing. Absolutely nothing. Got a new audio recorder. DVT 4110. Just throw that anywhere. I haven't even used it yet, but we're going to be putting it to use here pretty soon. Got the old digital recorder that I've had for a long time. picked up a small Pelican box to store the SD cards and have fresh ones with me if something really crazy happens and I need more gigabytes. Well, you know what? That made a lot of sense. Clean off your hands and then start grabbing a bunch of other stuff. Alright. You know, everybody and their brother has grabbed a hold of this peanut butter jar. I don't know if this is going to help matters or not, but either way, there won't be any germs on this thing. Alright. I guess once it clears off, if they want it, they're going to take it. And, okay, full jar, Skippy Creamy Peanut Butter. I got the lid on snug, okay? Not cranked right on tight, but snug. Let's go put it right in there. That's interesting. You know, I don't even know if they can get their hand down in this thing or not. Huh. That's interesting. I don't know if they could get their hand in there. I forget these things are gargantuan. Let's go take a look. I mean, for crying out loud, from what I hear, I mean, their fingers are as big around as a tennis ball. Their hand is like the hind quarter of a deer. This might be foobar. What do we got here? Here's my hand. Boy, they'd have to get a hold of the little one. You know what is interesting though? What is that right there? Tell me that doesn't look like a pumpkin seed, right? I mean, seriously. That looks like a pumpkin seed. All right, well. Okay, you guys see it. The peanut butter is down in there. Okay, now let's put this rock back on there. There it is. And another thing I can say is that rock has not been off of there since I was up here last, because it was in there snug. You could tell that it's the tree's grown. It was wedged in there really good. There's some sort of sawdust or something like almost like termites or ants or something been eating away and chewing up and causing, let's see, sawdust and stuff right there. Pumpkin seed though? Like, is there any more of that laying around? I mean, I know there's squirrels and chipmunks all over the place. Acorns up the wazoo up here. I mean, you can see where they're munching them down all over the place. There's nice little, these little flowers are starting to come up here. Ain't they pretty? So we had, where is that? Right there. Okay. So a while back ago, we had put an apple on that right there. Like a dork. I never brought those with, but see that like stick laying on a tree over there? I see that all over the place. You know, maybe 1 in a million that means anything, because, you know, everybody is looking for that and claim that Sasquatch do these things. And, you know, I sure there's some truth to it. No about a doubt it. But that doesn't mean that every tree leaning against something somewhere, like, alright, let's go check this out right here. Alright. Okay, now something like, yeah, something like this will get people going, right? Let's check this out. Alright. Can you see that right there? This tree right here is in the crotch of that tree up there. Okay? Let's step back here. See? Sitting up into the crotch of that. And I'll check my compass to see which way this is facing. And we got another one down there that's going up this way, but look what's significant about this. Well, maybe I'm not. Let's see. Alright. So I want to show you something. This right here. See that? That there's stuck in the ground. You see, that's why you got to be recording everything. All right. Interesting. So, all right, let's wrap this up before I run out of battery. That's very interesting. But you know what? Hey, let's look up. This is actually very interesting. Okay, all right, we are approximately, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 35 feet away from the SASQUATCH Candy Store. We have a 3-inch thick tree snapped off, stuck in the ground, stuck up into the crotch of another tree. Alright, step back. There is nothing where that tree came from. There's no broken tops that could be that thickness. That was set there. It's very interesting. This is why we're running video. This is why you just got to keep going, keep going, keep going. You probably walk by tons of stuff, right? Does this mean that Sasquatch? No, I didn't see a Sasquatch do that. But I get excited when I see stuff like this, because it's like very seldom that this happens. I told you, this specific area out and around here, let's say 1 mile from where I stand right here, has got things that are way more significant than that appear to me that hands had to have done that. And I am, like I said before, coming to the conclusion that either, let's say a guy like me wants to come up into an area and start making things look like there's Sasquatch everywhere. But why would you pick one area to do that? You know what I mean? Unless I knew people were coming up here. I have never, ever seen anybody up here my entire life. I come up here in the winter. I don't see boot tracks. Come up here during hunting season. Once in a while, you will see somebody come through here. They do come up to go hunting. So, they would have to spend some they would have to spend some time. They would have to spend some time. Am I looking at, where is the camera on this thing? They would have to spend some time up here situating all this stuff. And I don't think that's the case. So, yeah. All right, let's go over and finish up over here at the Sasquatch Candy Store, and then let's head on out. All right. So, up in this tree, up in here, I mean, there's branches that have died, broken off, fallen down to the ground. And, you know, I want to get a shot of this. Okay, here's a couple on the ground here. There's a big old one laying on the ground here. Last year, it was like I remember one leaning against. We'll have to go back. I got to go back and look at the pictures or check out one of the other videos. Sasquatch Candy Store 1, or what was it? Sasquatch Candy Store, Sasquatch Candy Store 2, and Sasquatch Candy Store 3. But I think one of these logs is leaning against that tree. And I'm pretty sure that was there and that was there. But this right here looks rather fresh. And it looks to me like it broke off from right up there, so or it could have come off any of these, so it makes perfect sense. Right? Here's another tree right here, leaning up into a crotch of a tree, right? It should be noted that it's facing exactly the same way as that one over there. Yep, and that's just drove in the ground like that. That looks like its own individual piece of tree, like one of these, right? Doesn't look like it was growing in the ground and rotted and died, fell over. And I don't really see over here. You know, I mean, there could be some slugs and, okay, look, here we go. You know, here's a tree that has fallen over. It's got branches on it and everything else. And you can see it's got, look, it's got roots, you know. One big old root. Even that doesn't look like it came from right here. What was that? Well, leaner, facing different directions, another branch. What is the significance of this? Random branches all over the place, yeah. But there's some pretty good evidence that Sasquatch do play around with sticks and that there might be some purpose behind it. If you aren't paying attention to it, you aren't checking it out and trying to make reason of it, well, you're not going to move forward if you're looking to try to come to a conclusion based upon evidence whether or not Sasquatch fix logs, sticks, twigs, trees in a certain way to speak to other Sasquatch. Maybe just for themselves. Maybe they just like doing it. Maybe it's, you know, you got great big huge trees like as big around as our Sasquatch Candy Store tree, ripped out of the ground, 10-12 foot long, spun upside down and drove in the ground in the middle of a field somewhere. And unless there was a tornado that blew that tree apart, that flew flying way up in the sky and then came out of the sky and landed right straight down and drove into the ground, well, maybe that's the case, but I guess you could maybe find an explanation for anything you see to contradict what it is that you may think it is. But that's scientific, is questioning what it is that you're studying and trying to establish facts to back up your theory. What's the theory? There is a bipedal, upright walking hominid walking around and living out here in the forest of the Adirondacks, thriving, managing out here. Not just managing, thriving. And this discovery is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sooner than later. And and I'm proud to be living in a time when a discovery this massive takes place. Not everybody's gonna care. You're right. Not everybody's gonna care, you know. But this isn't just some new snail that's been found, or another bug or another fish in the ocean. This is bigger than giant squid. This is going to be monumental. This is awesome. Okay. Got peanut butter in the Sasquatch candy store.